Friends, we live in an age where data is considered the new oil. There is a lot of data that we are all exposed to, both of our customers and of industry. But are we really harnessing the data? Are we really using the data? That's what the next speaker is going to talk about. The topic is data analytics, harnessing the lifetime value of a customer. And to do the honors is one among us, Vishranth Suresh. Vishranth had a very different journey reaching where he is today. He graduated from IIT Madras and post that for a couple of years was in MFD before launching Asset Plus as a B2B platform. Asset Plus is the company that he co-founded. And today, Asset Plus as a B2B platform enables multitude of MFDs to reach their customers digitally and provide their services in a seamless manner. And that's the specialty. And Vishranth is going to lead us through a journey of discovering how we can harness the power of data. Over to you, Vishranth.
Good evening, everyone. So firstly, thank you for having me here. Special thanks to the IFA Galaxy team for giving me an opportunity to share thoughts and learnings with distributors across the country. So I'm Vishranth. I am a graduate of IIT Madras. Although from a tech background, I had an immense interest in finance. Post-graduation, I've completed my CFA exams as well. And I have taken up a very unconventional path as it was known then. So in 2017 is when I started my IFA business. At that point in time, we were still allowed to be called IFAs. I think now it's MFD. But what I and my partner and I, Avnish, did differently was we grew the MFD business in a completely digital manner, right from being able to acquire clients, manage the portfolios, and continue the servicing of the clients as well. In about 2 years, we reached around 3,500 clients, and we were widely regarded as very fast-growing retail financial advisors at that point. So in 2018, when we participated in a lot of distributor forums and understood what was happening in terms of a technology revolution, is where we could see that whatever tech we had developed and used for our own growth is something that can be made use of by a lot of fellow distributors too, to enable them to grow quicker and in a digital manner. So we rolled out the Asset Plus distributor platform as it is called today, which is being used by a little over 1,200 distributors across the country. On Asset Plus, as on today, we have a little over 60 to 70 lakh transactions that we have processed, right? So this is giving us a lot of data and insights into how analytics can be used by distributors to grow their business. So when a distributor is looking to grow their business, there are usually two ways in which they can grow. Number one is being able to acquire new clients. And this is done in very well-known formats like distributors conduct investor awareness programs. They ask clients for referrals, or they might be, say, having some social media marketing based on which they receive leads. The second aspect, which I'm going to be talking more about, is how can distributors grow their business by upselling or cross-selling to the existing clients itself. So those are the 5 specific ideas that I'm going to be speaking about a bit more in detail with examples as we have seen on our own Asset Plus platform itself. So firstly, basic financial goals. So every mutual fund distributor will have to give importance to the fact that any middle class household who is present in India will pretty much have 3 mandatory financial goals, right? This is quite common and it's almost required for every family. Number one is having an emergency funds in place. So which some distributors prefer having 3 months of monthly expenses. Some people have 6 months. Some distributors even recommend having 12 months of monthly expenses as an emergency fund corpus. The number could be whatever, but every single household that's coming to invest in mutual fund should have an emergency fund goal. Second is tax saving goal. That's again when a client is earning on a regular basis and they cross a 5 lakh per annum threshold or 2.5 lakh per annum threshold, they will have to make investments to be able to optimize their tax. That is, again, a very large goal that exists amongst almost all the families in India. Number 3 is retirement planning. So India being a very young country, the amount of emphasis required for retirement planning is quite high. A lot of the population that's between 35 to 45, 50 years of age today will have to retire in the next couple of decades. And many of the families might not have a complete understanding of the actual retirement corpus that is needed, taking into account inflation. So these goals, I'm sure a lot of MFDs are aware. But what is something that might be missing is that for being able to track and monitor these goals for clients and use it as a way to be able to scale up your business. So the simplest way to do this is, if today an MFD has 200 to 250 clients, is that particular MFD maintaining this data in a very simple Excel sheet and going through client by client and trying to understand which of these clients have invested in these goals and which of these clients do not have these goals. That is a very, very simple exercise that distributors can do, which we have seen on our platform has increased the volume count either by SAP or additional lump sum substantially with the same clients itself. Say, for example, today you are addressing 200 households. You might realize when you are analyzing this data and in an Excel sheet in a proper manner that out of 200, only say 60 or 65 clients might have debt funds, which means the remaining 130 families or clients that you have might not have debt funds, which means that their emergency funds might not be in place. So asking them to start a simple SIP in debt funds to reach that emergency fund corpus, or asking them to invest some lump sum that they might have in their savings account to again reach that emergency fund corpus, becomes a very, very easy conversation to have during portfolio reviews. This alone will ensure that all the client lists you have are able to cover all these financial goals, and gives you more opportunity to be able to cross sell and upsell to existing clients itself. So when distributors conduct portfolio review with their clients, it could be once every 3 months, it could be once every 6 months or 12 months. We recommend that they maintain a very simple Excel tracker of all their clients and check if each of these clients are having these three goals, and if they are applicable but they have not invested, request the clients to have these goals in place so that the investments can happen. This is one of the major ways in which you can increase the business with your existing clients itself. So secondly, seasonal updates and tactical allocations. So this is something that's done on a very large scale globally, but distributors in India might not have started adopting this. So it's a very, very easy communication to have with clients and grow your business again. Say, for example, first is sectoral based allocations that you can take for clients. As on today, if you notice, you would have observed that, say, the equity markets in US have fallen, the tech stocks have fallen, and there might be an opportunity for clients to make an investment or start a small SAP in these kind of sector-based portfolios, which can give them good returns over the long term. Or for a lot of clients who were worried about how COVID is going to affect markets, a lot of distributors have recommended IT and pharma funds as a very small allocation to their portfolio, maybe 3%, 5%, 7%. We are having this conversation with the clients during the portfolio reviews. Say we again have 200 clients, talking to each of them to tell them that, hey, in this market condition, you are investing for your financial goals, but there is an opportunity in terms of valuation where you can possibly take a tactical bet by investing in an automotive fund or by investing in an infrastructure fund, because especially post the budget, the infrastructure market is expected to perform well over the next 3 to 5 years. The most likely the clients will come and say, yes, I would like to take an allocation there, because no one wants to miss out on potential returns, right? This conversation can very easily translate to starting a 2,000 rupees or a 3,000 rupees SIP in an infra fund, which can be for a period of 3 or 4 years as the distributor sees fit. By encouraging distributors to look at sectoral bets, we have seen the data that over 8,500 SIPs in sector-based funds have been started on the platform in the last couple of months alone. So this is something that works extremely well, and distributors should be able to track the client's list, and when the conversation they're having to review their investments, the regular portfolio reviews, they should be able to bring this up to client and give them that an understanding that there is a possible bet you can take, by which also the distributor gains to increase the SIP or get an additional investment from the client. This is number one. And number two is you always have a festival and occasional based investment recommendations that you could do. So the distributors will be aware of which are the customers who have kids, which are the customers who are yet to be married. So very simply going and telling the customer to, rather than purchasing a gift for the client, or over and above purchasing a gift for your kid, why don't you also consider starting an SIP to be able to help have a fund for your kids' education? It's a very, very simple conversation to have. In most cases, clients will never say no, right? And during auspicious times such as Diwali and Akshaya Tritiya, going and informing clients, rather than buying physical gold or over and above buying physical gold, why don't you also start a small SIP or make a small investment in a gold mutual fund, which can act as a digital gold for you? Is again a very simple conversation to have. So being able to plan a list of seasonal updates and convey this to clients as means for them to have tactical allocations becomes a very simple conversation and a very easy way to be able to increase the wallet share of the client and ensure that the client is investing more with the distributor. So this is the second point. So third, looking at this is again one point that a lot of distributors I'm speaking to might not be focusing on. So when you go and talk to say one set of customers and they have started a 10,000 rupee SAP over a period, say for a period of 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years, it is very important to understand that the client who has started at 10,000 rupees SAP today is not going to have a same earning potential for the next 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. In fact, every single client who's starting 10,000 rupees SAP today will be able to make that 10,000 into either 12,000, 15,000 or 20,000 as their earnings continue to grow based on the career growth, right? And this is something that distributors will have to pay very close attention to because the SAP book can increase very quickly the moment you understand the power of going back to the same clients and asking them to increase SAP on a regular basis. Every single SAP of 5,000 rupees that is being started by one client today, if you are able to work with the client to help them realize the importance of increasing their SAP over a period of 10 years, you stand to gain 1.6 lakhs in cumulative trail commission alone. So that might not look like a great number from month one and year one, year two earnings. But given that SIPs continue accumulating the AUM and also the fact that the markets themselves push the AUM up, over a 10-year period, this amount is massive. So imagine if someone has 200 or 250 clients who are starting with a 5,000 rupees SIP today, what will be the total amount they would have earned over the next 10 years? That is a very large number, right? And at this point, one more important pointer for the distributors is we strongly discourage using step up SIP as a feature on whichever platform you are transacting, because the main aspect of a distributor communicating to client is the actual human interaction and the relationship that you build with the client. Anything that we do where we try to automate the relationship part is going to be very detrimental for the distributors. That's something we strongly believe in. It is best that the distributors actually talk to the client at the end of 1 year or at the end of 6 months to understand how much the client can increase in terms of their monthly investments and initiate transactions for them to increase. This not only strengthens the relationship, it also ensures that the distributor has a wonderful reason to go communicate to the client. And in most cases, 10% step up SIP is a very minimal number. A client who's doing 10,000 rupees in SIP today might actually end up doing 20 or 25,000 rupees itself next year. But if you automate it in terms of a step up SIP, a 10,000 SIP today will only become 11,000, which actually is a very small number practically too. So fourth is, it is very important for distributors to maintain and update the profiles of their clients to enable better cross selling and upselling. Everyone needs to maintain the occupation wise profiling, the income profile, and the age profile of all of the customers. Some few months back, there was a new rule where I believe the DNS allowance for public sector individuals had been increased by a certain amount by the government, right? When you have client profiles maintained, you will be able to take advantage of situations like this. Going back to the number of clients you have who are in the public sector or who are in the government service, who have been positively impacted by this DNS allowance, and telling them, hey, why don't you consider increasing your SIP since your allowance is anyway increasing? It's a very simple conversation to have. But in order to be able to have that conversation, that profiling of the client is something that must be already available with the distributors. And this is not very difficult to maintain because most distributors, when they process KYC for the clients, you will have all of this data available with you, right? You will have the occupation data, you will have the income slab, and you will have the age group as well. Age becomes important for you to cross-sell and talk about kids' education. When they are of an age, say between 40 to 50, you can talk about retirement planning. When they are between 30 to 40, you can talk to them about saving for their kids' education and kids' marriage. There are a lot of different ways in which you can improvise when you have the data available with you. And even data that is specific to age also becomes very crucial because of the fact that IFAs who are cross-selling insurance, say for example, a particular set of customers are in the 25 to 30 age group, being able to tell them that, hey, you should purchase a term policy for you and your family before you cross the 30 years of age so that you can save on that additional premium you will incur is again a simple conversation to have. So maintaining the client profiles across three different parameters: occupation wise, income wise, and age wise, and being able to think regularly on, based on each of these attributes, what can I talk to these set of customers and how can I cross sell, becomes a very important exercise that we encourage distributors to do. And finally, when it comes to client referrals, so we insist that distributors create a very simple Excel sheet that we title a referral dashboard. And in most cases, 50 to 60% of customers end up referring more customers when you ask them. But if we are waiting for the customers to themselves come and tell us that, hey, I have someone who can be a potential customer, the rates dip to somewhere only about 10 to 15%. So actively being able to ask referrals to clients and keeping a track of which are the clients to whom you have asked referrals and to whom you have not asked referrals is very important. And another one aspect that's been working out very well is many distributors have come up with a small incentive program. So if, say, a customer has referred his family member or his office colleague to you, and that person has also ended up making an investment, sending a very simple thank you gift in the form of maybe a 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees Amazon or Flipkart coupon goes a long way in expressing your gratitude for the referral that the person has given. So this is not something that's monetary in nature, something like you give me referrals, I'll give you money, but it's just a thank you gesture from your side, which will further strengthen the relationship between you and your customer. And finally, when you talk about client referrals, we encourage distributors to at least spend a couple of weeks of time to design a very simple template. So the template can be based on an image, or it can be a video based testimonial where existing clients are coming and talking to you about how have you helped them in the journey of wealth creation. Once you have the testimonials of customers, you can share it on social media. You can ask your clients to share it on their social media, and the number of leads that you can get just by simply sharing these testimonials is immense. Say, this is one example template that we had created, which is known as client success stories. So we requested the distributor to talk to the customer, and we have give a 7 to 8 line experience on how it has the customer benefited by working with this particular distributor. And this single distributor has gotten more than 60 leads in a span of 1 week, when both her as well as the customers shared this testimonial across multiple social media and chat messaging platforms. So these are the 5 major ways in which we feel distributors can upsell and cross-sell to the existing customers and grow their business and harness the lifetime value of customers. So I hope the participants and the IFA Galaxy team find this useful, and especially the new age distributors who are coming in today should be able to keep track of the analytics on a very simple Excel sheet to grow their business. I hope this is something you can do. It will have a massive impact in the way your business can grow over the next couple of years. So thank you for this opportunity once again.